Hello and welcome back to the beautiful gamepad here on the Lithium Project channel. I am Lithium Project. This is 3 Lions for the PlayStation. One of the games I was most fascinated about trying when I started the series, because it was a game that I always wanted as a child. Because I was massively into like the England national team. I did a whole spiel in the last episode where we did 3 Lines for the Game Boy Color, which was terrible. Will this be any better? I guess we'll see. The intro had an Ocean Color Scene song, which I've not included because I bet I'll probably get a copyright flag for that. There's another song from another game that I might have to do a similar thing for, thinking about it coming up at some point. What do we have language-wise? Standard stuff. Game. Youth, professional, world-class. We can stick to professional. Time of day random. Target cam. Probably want a side cam, but we'll see if I can change that once we're actually into the match. Not a lot of options. Not a lot of options there at all. Obviously, we have England, and we have, like, I'm the official, like, England kit at the time. I'm gonna guess that's the only one. We're not getting any other sponsors here. All right, fine. I'll be England. Do we have? I imagine we have the full squad. Yeah. We've got everyone here. Oh, look at little Bobby's fucking Michael Owen on the bench. Let's get him on the pitch. Wait, how do I? That's weird. Okay, whatever. Alright. That'll do for that. Let's toggle. Is it Australasia in this one as well? It is Australasia in this one as well. Let's just do the exact same match we did on that one. And yeah, just a game that I always wanted, and then I think a couple of years later, I had there was a very small game store near where I was, tiny little shop, and I remember seeing this in the bargain bin, which was kind of my first sort of understanding about, well, what a bargain bin could be or was, and that there are games that could be constituted as like bargain bin style games, and even as a, I don't know, like 11-year-old, 12-year-old, I think it gave me my impression that, oh, maybe I skipped a trick by not buying this or getting my family to buy this for me. What the fuck is going on? Oh my word. What's the Final Fantasy VIII meme? Oh my god. Well, that's just all the same face. Look, those were the times. Those were the times. Holy shit. Something I really took notice of with the FMV, or the intro, is that there's this camera has like a fairly cinematic vibe to it, and I think that's one of the things they were really trying to make like a USP for the game, on top of the fact obviously as well that it's using the England national team. Yeah, that was always going to be a foul. Like the way the cat, you know, it's not a snapshot between or a transition. It's all kind of one singular shot. That's pretty cool. That actually looks really nice. Oh, we can change how we want to play. That's nice. That's pretty decent. That, I'm guessing, is the shot button. So we're playing by Pro Evo rules here. Right, that's not a through ball. That's just like a headbutt. Okay, L1 is to run. Okay, good. I was wondering what that was, if it had it. It's a real like touch and go around this time, whether, because some games have it, some games don't. Anything kind of pre like 96 or is 2D, you just kind of expect doesn't have it. What the fuck are you doing, mate? But then around this time, like some game, yeah, just you never know exactly what will include it or not. Man, these character models. But again, like, the actual camera is really impressive, the way it tracks on the players. Alright, let's go for a run. Come on. It's quite slow. That's kind of the main problem so far. And there's also like when the time between when you pass the ball to when it gets to your next player and they collect the ball. It's yeah. Interesting, they have they got links in the billboard here like they have on the Game Boy Color version, so there must have been a 2-game deal or something, or just any game that you do using this three lines property, we're in it. And Ericsson as well, for that matter. Is that Kiss 100 FM? Jeez, I ain't thought about that for a while. Yeah, that's Kiss FM. Oh, how about that? A real sign of the times. So X is to switch between characters. Circle is this sort of like just lump them in the face button. LB is a run. Oh, look at the way it tracks. That's really sick. That's pretty sick. Do you know what? This ain't terrible. It's slow, but then I can't decide whether I prefer it because I've played some of these games where they're way too fast. And maybe slow is better, like the kind of deliberate nature of it. It's you know, it's the real Bloodborne of football games, you know. Ocean Colour Scene. If only Bloodborne had that. But it's just you play so many of these football games and you're just clamoring for it to show something that looks unique or has something interesting about it, and this camera absolutely is that. It's probably my favorite usage of a camera so far because it's not snapping back and forth, because that's been the problem with quite a few of these 3D games with their camera, is that it's clearly locked onto wherever the ball is, and so if the ball's going back and forth, it's too quick basically, where this clearly has like a bit of like a buffer period, which you'd get in like platforming games. You know, you move forward but the camera doesn't immediately move with you. There's this like slight delay, and it's just kind of like much more easing. And it's pretty nice. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do. I think my biggest issue is that the run button is assigned to LB. when I really prefer it being attached to RB. I can't even tell what it does. Also, the passing, like trying to pass to like a player who's at a slightly weird angle is quite tricky. So this doesn't use analog stick, and actually interesting enough, with emulation for this, if you try and use analog support, it just kills all the controls dead. So you have to like assign it back to like digital mapping. And so passing, it doesn't kind of like, if you're on like the y-axis and your teammate is like 10-15 degrees off of that axis, you can't just kind of pass it forward and then have the ball sort of automatically drift towards them. It just kind of goes off. You can't really pass in that way because you're stuck to like 45-degree increments. So that's a problem. Their faces is a problem as well, but you know, I have less of an issue about that because, again, those be the times. There's no amount of like pressure input for passing. Like as soon as I tap it or hold it, it passes immediately, which means you can't kind of gauge like how much distance you're trying to put into where a ball is going to go. So I've had one or two instances where I was like trying to back pass or pass back across the pitch, and it just did this pathetic little back pass, which was like, that was not my intention, because I was trying to hold it down to, you know, get the pass across the pitch. So it's got some problems. Jeez. But like there's a good amount of physics and weight to the ball. The crowd is a bit relentless with the audio. Oh, fucking. Get me. That was a bit dramatic, wasn't it? Come on now. Oh man, we're really milking this for all it's worth. That's it, up you get. Never known Shearer to act like that. Alright, yeah, fuck it, let's go for it. This will be a fun one for me to try and decide where to put this, because it's got what I want from this series, really. It's got its pros and it's got its cons, and it has some really interesting pros that are unique to this game, and that's really cool. Look at that. I'm sure this camera isn't unique just to this game, but you know, I've come off the back of just doing like a top-down 2D football game, so this feels obviously much more unique as a result. Ah, so close. No! I feel like that was a bit delayed, but alright. Won't argue. I'm guessing that's meant to be Paul Ince and not Taff, as it says on the back of his shirt. That's the problem, is like it's so long for you to collect the ball that if you're trying to line up a shot immediately, if you've got another player on you, you're not getting that shot in. Thank you, Seaman. I like the fact that you've got the players shouting "clear it" down the middle, that kind of stuff. That if you're not gonna get the crowd SFX where you want, and obviously there's no commentary. That's a nice little touch. Apparently, I got no defenders on the end of that. Down the middle. You said down the middle. So I like the idea that both the English players and the Japanese players have the exact same. Like, if I play as Japan, will it be the same, you know? Alright, I gotta figure out the shooting. There's something I'm missing a trick with here. Maybe it's similar to there's a game or two I've played where you need to hold back to like lower the aim, and if you're holding forward, it just means you're going to shoot up. Maybe that's the issue. Yep, that's exactly what it is. All right. An England 1-0 loss to Japan at home. Yeah, that's on point. Oh, we got extra time. Not over just yet. Oh, one more attack. Come on, come on. Oh, no. Oh, that was it. That was the one. Jesus, how much extra time are they giving us? You'd think there'd been a VAR stoppage for 10 minutes. There we go. Japan! I feel like I'll have another match. You can tell when I'm into a game because I want to play at least one more match. And it's not that I think this is great by any means, but oh, it's so 90s. But it's got something to it there. Let's mix it up. Let's be Germany. Yeah, Germany versus Mexico. That works for me. Didn't want to look at the Mexican squad though. I wanted to look at the German squad. Yep, real German players as well. All right. But will all their faces look the same? That's the question. I think I kind of clocked onto the shooting at the end there, and if I'd done that earlier in the match, maybe I might have been able to get a shot or two on target. Maybe even a goal. Who'd have thunk it? Alright, let's have a look. Can I pick Klinsmann out of this lineup? Alright, well, one's got blonde hair. Whew. His faces are insane. Oh my god, the bottom two there. Fuck. genuinely traumatizing stuff. I thought, like, in the last game when you had the background with the children from the wall, that would be bad enough, but no. No. 3 lines for the PlayStation as you've topped it. Oh, wait, is that German as well? That sounded like that was German as well. Or German instead of English. Oh, the audio's a bit fucked. Alright, that's... You know what, 3 lines? You get an extra point for that. Oh! Oh, crunching tackles! Holy shit, maybe I like this game. You know, sometimes you want to do a tackle like that just to tell the opposing attacking player that's what you've got coming up for the next 90 minutes. I can't shoot for the life of me, though. Oh, off the post! Alright, this is definitely happening. I've got this now. Look, it's the most insane fucking comparison I will ever make on this whole thing, but there is a Bloodborne, Soulsborne type of vibe in terms of that deliberateness to the movement, which again I will absolutely take over the more kind of frantic pace of like a World Championship Soccer for the Mega Drive. This is much more preferred. There are 1,000 ways you can streamline and improve on that, but as a kind of baseline, it's, you know what it is, if they had been given another crack at this, if we'd had a 3 Lions 2, which I guess in terms of how you're going to number these games would have been a bit tricky, should have started with 1 Lion, gone from there. I do think that if they'd been given another crack at this, it might have been alright. Like, I have no idea how this sold, actually. Like, you know, probably just comes down to that. Like, didn't sell any copies, so off it goes. But this is better than I thought it was going to be. I was coming to this not fixing to hate it, but just with a perception that this was pretty terrible. And I kind of like it. Because immediately I'm just, you know, we're a few years removed from Axyz Soccer at this point. But, you know, I use that as the kind of template for... I use that the template for any PlayStation game that I look at and think about how games afterwards kind of improve on that original formula. And a few of them that I've either played or tested for future stream. I mean, just look at 440 Soccer. Like, that is a complete abomination of a football game for the PlayStation. And this does have some level of, like, fucking effort put into it. It doesn't feel as a complete cash grab as you might think it would be, and would be completely understandable for thinking that going in. You know, just slap the 3 Lions logo on top of it, on front of it, and away you go. But I'm kind of into it. Maybe it's because I've played a couple of howlers in the last couple of episodes that it's just broken my head. The shooting is a bit fiddly, but I'm kind of getting the hang of it. The SFX is absolutely borks now. I don't know if that's like an emulation thing or it's like specific to the German SFX. But, you know, these are minor issues. If it had a through ball and if running was assigned to RB, I think they're my two most immediate changes I'd make. Ah, and just being able to shoot a little bit quicker. I'm surprised I got away with that one. Come on, Klinsmann. Where you going? Now that is a South American goalkeeper kit. Like, that's got all the fucking colours. Oh, what a pass. That was outrageous. What a team goal that would have been, man. Get upfield. Klinsmann again. That's fine. All right. Yeah, I've got the swing of this now. Oh, and I would change ocean color scene, obviously. But that's a personal preference. I think the one thing that actually does shock me about it is the lack of commentary. I feel like, considering, I don't know if this is like what you would technically refer to as like an official license, but considering it's got the England players in and they're in the FMV and whatnot, I feel like it's got enough going for it that you could have got commentary. And like fucking Axyz Sports is Barry Davis, for God's sake. Like, I don't see why, other than budgetary reasons, they didn't get anyone in. And I guess actually looking at it as well, in terms of the modes and what this game has to offer, it's very, very light. It's this and it's whatever the tournament mode is. So from that aspect, you probably do have to knock it down a couple of points. Do I have any defenders back? What kind of highline pressing am I doing here? But like, you know, the fact that I can't choose how much pressure I wanted to put into shots. It's just all kind of contextually doing it for me. That might be the biggest change that I'd make, because it means that passing is kind of a crapshoot. Like, for the most part, it's actually worked all right. But there were definitely a few times in the first match where, like there, I wasn't planning on hoofing it halfway up the pitch. It's worked on a couple of occasions. Don't get me wrong. But it feels like it has a level of auto-detection it's trying to do, but sometimes just whiffs and ends up directly in your opponent's hands. Oh, save. Like that, I wanted to lob that on the other side of the pitch. So yeah, that's the biggest issue for sure. And it's why I'm playing more down the center, because I'm just not trusting being able to lob. Which I guess is actually kind of a really big issue, is that I feel quite restricted in terms of the method of how I want to approach the goal. Like, it's good when you can go down the wing or down the center, but here it kind of does feel like a bit like I've only got the one option. I'm sure, you know, maybe in time I can figure it out, and that just could be a case of like how much time I give per game. Okay, I know, I'm pretty sure I have already done a foul, but it did feel like the referee was being quite lenient. I like that they, you know, give time to sell a body part, you know, they really, like, let the moment sink in. Wrestling 101. Oh, man. That was going in. That would have gone in. This is the first corner in 2 matches. Oh, how are we doing this? Yeah, headers and volleys and whatnot. I don't know what the secret sauce for those is yet. Fuck. Tactical foul. Yeah, play the advantage. Play the advantage. Oh, you son of a bitch. I don't want to throw. I did not want to throw. I wanted to hoof that. Come. Play the dark arts. Run down the clock. Oh, maybe I need to do it up the pitch and then he'll hoof it. Ah, okay. Alright. My bad. Ah, every time there's a defender in the way. Okay, there we go. Low scoring effort, but a win is a win. Oh man, I am pleasantly surprised by this one for sure. Yeah. I did not think I'd be coming into this with fairly positive vibes overall. Again, the positives. The overall, like, I mean, the faces are a fucking nightmare, but like the way the camera kind of pans around, it feels like it's one continuous tracking shot. that feels really unique to this game, but in a way where it just works and it isn't a crappy gimmick that actually detracts from the experience. The shouting of the players, asking for like through balls and down the middle, that kind of stuff, that feels quite unique. The overall movement is a bit slow, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's running through treacle like others have felt. But there are definitely some tweaks I would do with the passing and whatnot, and I feel like maybe over time this game would get quite frustrating. But it is better than I thought. So now comes the question, where do I put this fucking thing? Oh my god. Alright. So let's go from the top 20. You're better than FIFA Soccer 96. You're better than Tecmo World Cup 93. You're better than Road to the World Cup 98 for the Game Boy. That you know, is handicapped by... I should have maybe put that higher, but you know, here we are. Yeah, better than MSX. The Champions League 06-07 is just one of those like nondescripts, like fairly kind of standard. I imagine any of those EA Canada games are gonna fall into that. And probably on a technical level, that is better than this, but this has way more character to it. So I think I would go above that. I think Real Football 2008 is more a surprise than it is like an actual kind of like gameplay triumph sort of thing. But I think I'd rather play this than that. Oh, and so I think where we're looking at is like Sega Worldwide Soccer 97 and Axyz Soccer, which are sort of two sides of the same coin, which is why they're right next to each other. This is where it gets tricky because, again, Axyz Soccer is like the granddaddy of the PlayStation 1 football games. Oh, Virtua Striker is obviously before that, but that's its own thing. And so, am I wearing my silly boy trousers today? That's the question. Because I feel like to like a PlayStation 1 football puritan, putting 3 Lions above Axyz Soccer would be some like declare of war. But Axyz Soccer, it's more of an appreciation. I wouldn't say I find it particularly fun to play, or it's not a thing I think I would want to play more than 1 to 2 games of. Where I feel like 3 Lions maybe unintentionally has like an extra layer of complexity to it, or an extra layer of gameplay to it. Or maybe I just like actually prefer the gameplay overall of it. And you know, it's got a few years on it as well, so like it does look a little bit better. But you know, we've got like Virtua Strikers from 1993 and 94. And we got, you know, like a Genesis and a GBA game above it, so that's not everything. It's a head in my heart kind of thing, and I do think my my head is saying that I would put it below Sega Worldwide Soccer 97, and my heart is saying maybe I would put it like in between those two. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think it'd be too bold to put it above Axyz Soccer. Don't ask me why. I don't have to fucking answer any questions about my logic with this. But I will say it's way higher than I thought it would be. I was expecting this to be a rung above 442 Soccer, which is not saying much, but I was expecting this to feel like a real cash grab, cop out kind of football game. But it's not. It's I can see why it would end up being like a bargain bin game for sure. But definitely not as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah. 3 Lions. That's a big one that I've wanted to get out of the way, and I'm glad I've done that, and I have the kind of knowledge of it now. So yeah, that's I got a few other kind of like of this type to come yet, but we'll get to them in due course. God knows where I'm going to go next with this series. Like, hey, again, if anyone has a shout in terms of games or consoles or whatnot, probably by the time this video comes out, I'll have recorded another 6 or 7 videos anyway. But I'm always open to suggestions and offers, and just like make sure that there are games that I do not know that get played, because they are probably the more interesting ones to have a look at. So that'll do it for now. Thank you very much for watching this enlightening experience. Please do give this video a like, throw a comment below, call me a prick, I don't know, like, it's all engagement, it'll all help out the algorithm, so who cares. And yeah, I guess we'll see you again for another installment of the beautiful gamepad. Till then.